It's Mohim for Boxing Domination, and today I'm joined by the hit hard George Hillyard here in Rye House in Antonio's. Sir, how you doing?
Very well, thank you. Recovering well, and we'll have to change the hit hard now because that last fight I weren't hitting hard, so we'll leave that one out for this conversation.
Tough night in the office for you, BKB 34. Do you want to recap on what was it like?
I was drained. That's what it was like. That's all I can say. Everyone knows what happened on the night, and listen. By the way, we're not taking nothing away from his win, but I was physically drained from the weight loss, which was no one else's fault but my own. But what they made us do on the day of the fight, where I couldn't, from 9 o'clock in the morning to 5:45, then I had to do a second weigh-in, where they asked me where I couldn't eat or drink, nothing. So yeah, it was hard, and then obviously I lost weight in that time in the second weigh, so that's why the fight went ahead. So well, I was only a couple of pounds heavier then, so I mean it was just, but yeah, it physically drained me.
In terms of your weight as well, I know the weight cut was massive. Have you ever experienced something like that before in your pro career?
Really? No. No, not this. I lost 42 pounds. That's 3 stone. But listen, we don't have to go down that route. And there was an issue there. That's it. But I resolved it. I agreed to it. But there was no weight that we had to be, because there weren't a title fight or nothing like that. But then it was his management team that said, we do a second weigh-in, and I can't be no more heavier than this by this time. And that time I lost, during the day I lost weight, so, and that's why the fight got accepted.
Brave MMA. Going into the fight, in terms of Rolando, your opponent, was he everything that you were expecting of, or was there maybe something different?
No, it was everything that we expected him of. Everything. And the thing is, no discredit to him, because he is an incredible champion. But I was trained to the max, and everyone could see that. And we weren't throwing punches. Like, from the first round, I thought, if I don't connect, I've got one round in me. In that first round, I was knackered, and it never come off of me. And then, as I run in, and I'm an experienced fighter, and as I run in like a complete novice, he steps aside, hit me, and bam, I'm going through the ropes, and I was all like flashy knockdowns, but more embarrassing knockdowns for me, if that makes sense. The whole performance was a shambles from me. So yeah, very disappointing. Let myself down, let my team down, and let people around me down.
Being a big ticket seller from boxing to now in Benoko Boxing, also being a part of the whole pay-per-view scheme, ticket selling. On the night, taking your very first loss, it was devastating to, for me to personally see you lose the fight. What was it like for you? I mean, just on the mental side.
Devastating. Yeah, devastating. With me, I'm big enough and ugly enough to look after myself, but it's the effect it has on the wife, the kids, and my family. So it was hard. And the worst thing about it is like, everyone knows that weren't me in there that night, and it makes, and I don't want to sound like I'm a bad loser, because I'm far from it. I mean, but what we had to do on the day of the fight was it was horrific for my body. Yeah. And I had a very well-known nutritionist that we all know is the best in the country, and he'd done a lot of world champions, phone me and say, because obviously he done help me lose majority of the weight. He was like, "What they're trying to do, mate? Pull out, don't fight." And I was like, "I can't do that. I can't do that. You know, because of the previous fight of me pulling out with my back. If I pull out now over this, I won't be able to sell tickets for the next fight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I won't be able to promote myself for the next fight." So, and then it was having my trust in Jim and having trust from Jim and Joe to support me for the next show. So if I pulled out, it would have been a no-go. So I was like, no, I'm. And then my uncle, who was in my corner, he just said to me, he went, "I don't want you to fight." He went, "Please pull out." He went, "You're not in the physical state to do so." He said, "So please pull out." And I was like, "No, I'm not going to. I can't." I mean, I went, "If you can stand by me for this, I appreciate you for it." And he did. He stood there. Him and Mark Callahan both stood there by me for it.
One thing we know in boxing, you'll know more than me, but I'd know from my 7 years of being in boxing, 7.5 years. 7 years, 7. We'll go 7.5. When you lose a fight, for example, it's the next fight. Coming back is, of course, can be a tough one, especially when it comes to selling tickets. And from boxing, being a big ticket seller to now in bare knuckle boxing, I know you've had your differences of trying to sell your tickets to the same number of people. Do you think this loss will now be a problem in terms of selling tickets to the same people?
I don't know. I'm because I've had a lot of feedback, good feedback, saying like the courage that I showed in the fight. Listen, I was never ever going to stop. If that referee never pulled me out, I would have just kept going all day long. So the response I had from that, everyone going, "I'm definitely going to be at the next one." But let's talk once again, without sounding rude to them. I don't want them to talk about it. I want them to say, "Listen, we're now going to come and support you." But we'll only see. We'll only see what's going to happen in the next fight.
I've never asked you this question before, but I'm going to ask you today. I mean, with what a lot of people say is your biggest supporter often becomes a stranger. That's what a lot of people say. And you know what? In all fairness, I think in most cases it does sort of come true, especially when you take losses. When you lost that night, I remember I saw your partner. She was obviously very nervous. She wanted to see you. But I want to ask you, in your entire career, from your boxing career to now in your bare knuckle boxing career, age 38, if I'm correct, name maybe 3 people that's been your biggest supporters, whether you lost, won, or drew.
That lady you see there?
Yeah.
My mum. What? Yeah, mum. Well, it's a bit of an hard one actually. Yeah. Probably my trainers. My trainers have always stuck by me. Yeah, I'm lucky to have that. Yeah. But definitely the missus and the 2 women, my mum and my loyalty. It's I can never ever fault them for their loyalty. And as most people know, I'm mad on loyalty. Yeah. And they have it in abundance.
George, that's basically one of the things which I really wanted to know. I know your new film is coming out as well. Your film is coming out very soon. We saw a small, maybe 3 or 4 minute film on Instagram as well, which was narrated by someone who knew about the film industry for sure, and the voiceover by your friend as well, who also done it. Do you want to tell me a bit about your upcoming film as well, and that film that was shot?
Yeah, it's for the documentary. So we've had this documentary be going on for it's nearly 2 years now, 3 years, but it's always been stop-started because of what happened in Vegas and COVID. So, and obviously in the boxing world, I'm very well known. but walking down the street, I'm not very well known, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So for it to be in the public eye, Netflix are working on it and ITV. For them to be selling it, I have to be. My name has to be a little bit more out there, where it is not at the moment. Is where I'm not pushing it. I don't want. I'm not. By the way, I'm not a celebrity. I'm not this. I'm a sports person. But you gotta sell your name to be in the public eye. You know what I mean? And they want you to do some silly things because it's publicity. But I'm not quite prepared to do just that.
Since you can't ever make it to pro boxing again, under the British Boxing Board of Control, as we know.
Yeah, I can only under the boxing board of control. Everywhere else I can.
Like, for example, Conor Ben recently returned against Orozco. I believe his name was Mexican fighter, very durable at 154 pounds. Do you see the fight and what was your thoughts on it?
Tough, durable Mexican. Perfect fight for Conor. And Conor done a fantastic job on the night. And forget what's gone on in the past. Everyone, I mean, he's British. Let's get behind him and support him. And yeah, he did and he kept up a tremendous pace as well. And yeah, I thought it was a fantastic win. And it was nice for him to be back on the map and get his name back out there, especially in America as well.
The two names that are really in place right now are Kell Brook, which is again a massive fight. I don't think it will happen at 140. And in terms of your bare knuckle boxing career as well, I'm gonna keep it very simple with that one. Not gonna make much comment on it. What's next for you?
Well, I just wait for. Obviously, I've made phone calls and spoken, but we'll make to see what Jim and Joe got for me. Hopefully, maybe December, and hopefully I can get my name back out there and back on the map and do everything correctly and no more what I did last time. Yeah. You know what I mean? And yeah, no more excuses. No excuses. Just yeah, get there, get my name back out there. That's what I want.
And before we sort of wrap up the interview, in a very anticipated interview which we've had, yeah, do you want to give any shout out to your sponsors? I know you got some great sponsors as well.
Dave Foster's at Foster's Insulation, Lanterns Recovery, and Antonio's here, and Joe at Protein Shop, and obviously Crate Gym. All these boys have all been helping and all been fantastic and helping me keep my dream alive. So yeah, thank you for them for supporting me, even to yourself. Thank you for coming down here and giving me a platform to.
Thanks for the meal.
Yeah, you're very welcome. But yeah, so yeah, we've got a little yeah. So you alright?
Yeah.
Do you want to say hello to the camera?
Hello. Can me and Mummy wait for you at home?
No, tell her I'm coming right now.
Should I cut his bell?
Yeah, do whatever you want to do, mate. It's funny, you know what I mean? You could do another clip with that in it. It's up to you. Yeah, so yeah, listen, I'll be back bigger, better and stronger. I promise you that now. And I just want everyone, all the people that used to support me in the boxing world, come and support me on the BKB world now. I love your support on it. And as everyone knows, I was a massive ticket seller on there. And I've not been a big ticket seller on the BKB because a lot of people think it's underground. No, it's far from it. It's very, very professional. And yeah, so we would love your support, and hopefully we can start banging out and selling out arenas again. And that's the what you got to understand is promoters, and this is no disrespect to any promoter, promoters don't give a monkeys about us. It's about selling. You got to put bums on seats. Yeah. So if you don't sell, it don't matter if you're how good you are. If you don't sell tickets and don't put bums on seats, then you're not going to be sellable to us, to anyone. So, but you supporting me helps me support my family, helps me support my. Just as cheesy as it sounds, it's true.
Thanks, George. We'll see you very soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me, mate. Top man.